All right, Shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Give the honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and women who follow. This is the brother Kratazah from the GMS Nebraska camp coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. This one being entitled, Was Joseph Imhotep? All right. And this was going back over, the story of Joseph and just through the spirit, I remember something that we had looked into some years back and just seeing the parallels between Joseph and Imhotep. And I believe the elder apostle Tahar has spoke about it as well. But I just want to, go into these parallels and these similarities to which, I believe, I speak as a man, we know in part, we prophesy in part, but I sincerely believe that, our forefather Joseph is the same Imhotep that, is spoke about in Egypt. All right, so Lord's what is edifying. So Joseph, it says that Joseph was Imhotep of Egypt. It says he built the first pyramid in Egypt at Sequaria and stored grain in underground silos there. So that's what Imhotep was known for. He built the first pyramid and he stored the grain in underground silos. All right, it says this is a picture of one of the underground silos, grain silos that was used to save Egypt from famine. So let's get into the story. Let me see. This is Genesis 41 and 1. It says, and it came to pass, at the end of 2 years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine, fat-fleshed, and they fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke. All right, and it says, and he slept and he dreamed the second time, and behold, 7 years of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin years and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And after the 7 thin years devoured the 7 rank and full years, Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them this dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servant, and put me in the ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. We dreamed a dream in one night, and he, it's like I and he, we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was with us a young man, a Hebrew servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him the interpretation of our we and Sakya, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dreams did he interpret. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was me he restored unto my office, and him to be hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself because he was in Egypt. So, we don't shave ourselves, but, Joseph was in Egypt, so he, was following under the customs of the Egyptians, which is why he could be known as Imhotep. He had to follow along with the customs. He was embalming people. We can get that as well. Um, but let's finish this. It says, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it? And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. The Most High shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And that's a key word right here, peace. Remember this. He said he's gonna give him an answer in peace. It says, and Pharaoh said to Joseph, well, this also proves that Joseph gave the credit to Yahweh Shem Shai and not himself. It says, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph in my dream, Behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up of the river seven, or we know what his dream said. Let's jump down. Um, verse 25, it says, And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. The Most High has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. 7 good kine are 7 years, and 7 good years are 7 years. The dream is one. And the seven thin and ill favor kind that came up after them are 7 years, and or 7 years, and the seven empty ears blasted with the east wind could be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What the Most High is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. Uh, and for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by the Most High, and the Most High will shortly bring it to pass. Now, therefore, let Pharaoh uh, look out as a man discreet and wise, and set over him the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this. Let him appoint his officers, all right, appoint an officer over the land, and take up a fifth part of the land of Egypt in the seven plenteous years. What going back to what we were saying, gathering all the grain. And let him gather all the food in those good years that come, and lay up corn in the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities, and that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And this was a good thing in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. So, this is just like I said, that's one parallel right there. All right. We can also go and get let me see. I believe it's towards the end of Genesis. Um yep. This is Genesis 50 and 1. It says, And Joseph fell upon his father's face and went upon him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants and the physicians to embalm his father, and the physicians embalmed Israel. So, you know, they had that knowledge back there, embalming. What's that in just out of curiosity? This is a Strong's H2590. Chanat. This is to embalm the spice to make spicy to embalm, embalming. By implication, to embalm, also to embalm, to put forth. All right, yeah, so just, to embalm. All right, yeah, to embalm. All right, so let's see. There's another point that I want to make. Um, I didn't want to get this one just yet, but there's a point over here. Um, oh, okay, yeah, that's over there. Okay, yeah. So let's keep reading. Genesis 41 and 38. It says, And Pharaoh said unto his servants, We can find such one Because remember, he needed to appoint an officer over the land, right? He says, and Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man whom the spirit of the Most High is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as the Most High has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, according to thy word. Shall all my people be ruled? Only in the throne, only in the throne will I be greater than thou. So he set him up as second in command. All right, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck. So he wasn't wearing Hebrew clothes. He was wearing, Egyptian guard or Egyptian vestures, Egyptian clothing. He was shaving his beard like an Egyptian, which is why his brothers didn't recognize him. When the land went into famine and they came down. So when you look at it over here, it says Imhotep is considered one of the most important figures in ancient Egypt, primarily known as the architect who designed the step pyramid of Dozier, serving as the chief minister and advisor to Pharaoh Dozier. Right, so he was made second in command, the chief minister, because he was the father of medicine and became the god of medicine to the god of medicine you pray to for medical help. You know why? Because Joseph, he had those visions, and also, we went into the embalming, but he was known as I said, the quote god of medicine, or a medicine man. Um, all right, so moving on, his burial. So Imhotep's burial, it says his tomb is important because it can reveal more about this important figure's life and career. But that precise location remains a mystery, despite most experts agreeing that the tomb should be somewhere at today's uh, Saqqara or Abusir. But we know, so putting two and two together, that if Pharaoh is Joseph, that this happened. Um, yeah, So Exodus 13, I'll start at 17. It says, and it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that the Most High led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For the Most High said, least peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But the Most High led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straightly sworn the children of Israel, saying, the Most High surely will visit you, and you shall carry up my bones away hence with you. So Joseph, his bones were removed. So that grave was, his um not really grave robbed, but you know, wherever Joseph was laying, you know, previous previous to this, you know, that was taken. So no, they wouldn't be able to find, the tomb of Joseph or the tomb of so-called Imhotep if the bones were taken. You know, and the last thing I wanted to get into is just the meaning. The meaning of his name Imhotep is the one who comes in peace. And going back to what I said before, that yeah, and Genesis 41:16, and Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. The Most High shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace, right? And that's just our culture. Shalom, 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 which shalom or shalom meaning peace. So, he who comes in peace. So you can imagine him going around Egypt, you know what I'm saying? Shalom, shalom, shalom. Greeting everyone with peace. So that's how you can get a nickname like Imhotep, you know? So that's really all I have with this. Um, yeah, Lord's this was edifying, and we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Karkadash. You dub honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity of the men and women who follow. And shalom.